Good day, good day. As God Says Ministries, the House of Fire, and I'm Prophet Tavis. As you can see, I've repainted. I'm still busy with it. That white's going to be turned into black counter with this blood or wine color here. It should be look quite good. Yes, I rushed myself to get into this because I had to move out my flat and move into this little trailer, and so now I'm doing a little bit of a paint work here inside, trying to get the colors a bit more uniform. And of course the white I had here was just getting so dirty with some leaks I had before, so I've changed all the color. The ceiling is being painted the exact same color that's behind me too. So you know, I've been going through my prophecies as to see what's coming up, and then I stopped, and then I was just listening to other prophets talk, and I heard the word Lion of Judah. I heard, we're gonna go through a period of time that's gonna seem very chaotic and bleak and what have you. So, and then the Holy Spirit brought me back to this prophecy, which was on the 28th of October, 2020. And I'll read it to you, and then we'll go through it quickly. The line of Judah's feet are firmly planted upon the ground of the earth, and the earth trembles under the weight of his roar. The ground shakes in labor and cries out in agony. Within a year, according to the year of a laborer, all the glory of the dark one will fail, and the remainder of the number of archers of the so-called mighty men of the dark one will be diminished. The foundations of Babylon tremble and shake in fear of what is to come, and the saturated ground cries out under the weight of its burden. The night will bring horror in the land of the dragon, as the fire of his mouth is extinguished by the breath of my lungs. A great destruction has awakened in the land of the east, that has laid slumbering beneath the earth, but now threatens to split the land in two. For I have called out many times, but my words of warning have fallen on deaf ears. Those that have heard cover their ears with riches that profit them nothing in a night of horrors that stands at the door knocking. Now they will see, now they will know. They cannot hide in darkness from the light of glory. It's all starting to add up now. I've looked at this prophecy a couple of times and tried to figure it out. When Ukraine was this war started in Ukraine, and I looked to see was there any dragons in Ukraine, and yes, they are, and what have you. But I really believe this dragon here is really talking about China and the land of the east. But here in the beginning it says the lion of Judah's feet are firmly planted on the ground of the earth, and the earth trembles under the weight of his roar. In other words, yeah. The ground shakes in labor and cries out in agony. Now it says, within a year, according to the year of a laborer, all the glory of the dark one will fail, and the remainder of the mighty archers of the so-called mighty men of the dark one will be diminished. I believe that when Donald Trump gets back into power, we're going to have worldwide, though I'm talking about Donald Trump, America-wise, we're going to have a period according to the year of a laborer. So from November, according to the year of a laborer, you can work out what according to a year of a laborer is if you just take it on today's times. What a laborer works doesn't work on a, let's just say, doesn't work on a Sunday, doesn't work on public holidays, and of course Christmas time. So you can work out a general average of a year of a laborer. Yeah, if you took it by the biblical sense, then you would have to go the Sabbath is no work, and then all the holidays, the Jewish holidays, no work. And I don't know what other time a laborer wouldn't work in the Old Testament or in Jewish times, but a year of the laborer. So from the election day, and before it's even counted, this year of the laborer, it kicks in. And for it, that time, according to the year of a laborer, we're going to have confusion, chaos, violence, hurricanes, earthquakes, and man-caused earthquakes, natural earthquakes, and a whole bunch of things that are going to look like it's the end of times. But as this says, within a year, according to the year of a laborer, all the glory of the dark one will fail, and the remainder of the number of archers of the so-called mighty men of the dark one will be diminished. We're going to have a turnaround at the end of this period. A turnaround where God is going, heaven is going to come down, put it that way. Not Jesus coming down. Heaven is going to invade earth. And we're going to go into a time of prosperity and blessing and harvest of 1 billion plus souls coming into the kingdom. Not only it hasn't started yet, but a harvest I'm talking about this time. A dark one will be diminished. The foundations of Babylon shake in fear of what is to come, and the saturated ground cries out under its burden. These are the wicked people that have been trying to run this country. They are trembling at this very moment. They are trembling in their boots. You can see the DNC convention. It was utter foolishness. They looked like fools. If you look at the speeches, they looked like fools, hoping that their supporters would not see that they were not wearing any clothes. Hoping that they would see they were not wearing any clothes. But you could see clearly their speeches contradicted the way they have been talking for the last 16 years. For the way they have been talking for the last 16 years, 16 or 18 years, contradicted what they were, how their language was for the last 16 years. Hoping to fool the supporters into believing the absolute garbage that was coming out of their mouths. So they are trembling. Babylon is trembling. Their system that they've been trying to get in for decades now is about to come down with a big crash. And it's going to take a year of a laborer to whittle out all those that have infiltrated every sphere of life. They'll be diminished. This is a taste of what's to come when the Antichrist comes. But we are going to have a period of grace between now and then, that we are able to sustain ourselves when we end up in the Great Tribulation. Because we're going to end up in the Great Tribulation. Whether that's in my lifetime or not, I don't know. But we are going to end up in the Great Tribulation. Believers will have to go through the tribulation. Otherwise, what's the use of a tribulation? Anyway, and then it says, the night will bring horror in the land of the dragon. This, I believe, is talking about China. As the fire of his mouth is extinguished by the breath of my lungs. A great destruction has awakened in the land of the east, and has laid slumbering beneath the earth, but now threatens to split the land in two. There's something that's going to happen. I think it's going to be two things. I think it's going to be a natural disaster plus an economic disaster that's going to pit half the land against the other half of the land. Well, let's put it this way, the CCP against the ordinary people. And it's going to cause havoc in the land of the dragon, in China. In China. Great destruction, land of the east, has been laid slumbering beneath the earth, but now threatens to split the land in two. And I think when it talks about land, there's going to be some form of natural disaster here, and at the same time economic disaster that's going to split the land in two. It's going to split the people, the ordinary people, from the CCP, the Communist Party, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of heartache, trouble, and what's going on. And I believe this is coming in this time of the year of the laborer. For I have called out many times, but my words of warning have fallen on deaf ears, and those that have heard cover their ears with riches that profit them nothing in a night of horrors that stands at the door knocking. Those who have accumulated wealth in the darkness, their wealth is absolutely going to do nothing for them in this time of horrors, a night of horrors. Absolutely nothing for them. It's not going to help them one little bit when the people rise up against them. It's not going to help them. So we're looking, as I repeat quickly again, we're looking at according to a year of the laborer, from this November into 2025, a year of a laborer, whatever the length that is where we're going to have a lot of chaos. We're going to have a lot of problems in the financial side. We're going to have a lot of people thinking it's the end of the world, but it's not. We have to go through this to rid the earth of the darkness that is on it, being for decades now, of being just in control. All this transgender and all this other stuff that's coming in, this LGBTQ things, that everything's been pushed to the surface, and the racism that's been pushed up by wicked people, pitting one person against the other in every country. Basically, they've got their minions that do this, cause hate in the country by pitting one against the other. These is going to take according to a year of a laborer to sort the majority out, and then we're going to go in the time of prosperity and blessings, and we, in this time of grace, we are going to be building ourselves places where we are safe. When the Antichrist comes, we can be safe. Not only we're not going to be hunted, but we can be safe-ish, and survive with God's money. All the gold and silver is mine, he says. So, and then in this time too, I see a natural disaster and an economic disaster that's going to split China in two. That you're going to have on one side the CCP and the normal people on the other side, and those in the CCP that have gotten themselves wealthy and think their wealth is going to save them, it's not going to help them at all. And a night of horrors that stands at the door knocking. So people, we are going to go worldwide, and I'm talking about when Donald Trump gets in, which he is going to. He actually won the last election, but he is going to take this one in public. And when he gets in, we're going to go through, according to a year of a laborer, a time of turmoil, and everything's going to look like it's lost, but it's not. Keep yourself in the peace of Jesus, because he says, in the world you have trials and tribulation, but in me you will have peace. So keep yourself in the peace of Jesus, knowing that he has promised us a time of grace and time of prosperity, and at least 1 billion souls coming into the kingdom before these dark ones resurface again, and that we can build safe havens and safe places that the children of God can occupy until Jesus comes back, which is after the tribulation. It says immediately after the tribulation, but we will be going through the tribulation, otherwise a tribulation is pointless. So God bless you. May his favor drip from every part of you, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.